Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over some diversified mining companies and some rare earths. I haven't gone over those for a while. So we'll take a look at them. I'll give you my financial opinion. There'll be more of a big picture view, just seeing how they're doing. And we can get in there and I'll give you my opinion on it. So here we go. This is a Vale. This is a diversified mining company. They've got quite a bit of everything. And you can see we've got the kind of the large consolidation period from 2008 all the way till about 2020. We've broken the downtrend line and we're sitting up top here. We do have a little bit more selling pressure on the right-hand side here, like we're going to go into another consolidation period. We zoom in on it. I'm specifically looking at these selling pressure here. You know, some of these selling pressures, it looks like we kind of came up. Was going to do a little try to break out, but we broke down and we've been chopping sideways. I think that chopping sideways will continue until the overall markets find a clear direction or stabilize. The clear direction for the overall markets has been down. And if we continue lower, I think this will continue in a consolidation pattern is my guess. We've also had some pressure on copper itself, just to show you what copper's doing. Because recently, copper's had a little bit of a sell-off. We're on support. Big picture view, if you were to look out, we're on this support line going across here. And there is support a little bit underneath it as well. So here's your big consolidation period. We've broken to the upside. This is your first leg, I think. And now we're consolidating. We're looking for something else to go. I think the overall markets are scared. There is a lot of fear in the market, and this is getting sold off, and we'll see if this support line holds for copper. Going back to the diversified mining companies, COPX, again, we've got that near-term sell-off. Larger term, it looks pretty good. We've got a double bottoming pattern. We've broken to the upside. It looked like we were ready to break right here. And then the brakes went on right in April of 2022. The brakes were applied. Zooming on in, you can see some selling pressure on the right-hand side here. We're still above this support area here. We have another support line right underneath it. That is the big breakout from before. But we've come under pressure with the overall markets and the increasing interest rates as fast as they've come up. Looking at Rio, this is Rio Tinto. Again, we've got some selling pressure on the right-hand side over here. We're still within, you know, this kind of megaphone type pattern. We're still on top of this big old pattern trend line, support line there. Last bull market, looking at it from the mid-2000s, it kind of lagged in the beginning, and then it really took off towards the end of it. Is that going to be something similar? We'll have to find out. But we're sitting on top of the pattern for Rio. BHP, and a lot of these have big dividends, guys. This is a 12% dividend on BHP. We've got the large pattern that we've created. We've got the three humps, which is we usually see that within the patterns. We've broken to the upside in a consolidation pattern, I should say. We've broken to the upside here, and we're just been chopping sideways, waiting for a clear direction. Either way, you can sit in and wait at a 12% dividend. Not too bad. They do have increasing revenue and increasing income. That's always a good thing. Looking at Glencore. Glencore also has broken out of its large pattern. We've got some big selling pressure here this past month. And we're still in the month. We'll see what it ends out. But we've had some large selling pressure. We're back pretty close to the breakout. We're just moving sideways. So we're still above the support line, chopping sideways. Ivanhoe Mines, this does look like it's turning over. It does not look like we have further upside. This looks like it wants to go lower. So lots of selling pressure in Ivanhoe Mines. We've really fallen off here. And it does look like we're putting in lower highs, lower lows, and like it wants to come back with the overall markets. Tech Resources, another larger company. It's hanging in there. We can throw a kind of a trend line through here. We got another trend line coming up through here. Go big picture. That's kind of what we're seeing over there. We've broken the large downtrend to the upside. We've got the 3 humps, 1, 2, and 3. We broke it, and now we're consolidating sideways. And we'll have to see which direction this goes. I think the overall markets are weighing on these companies. FCX, Freeport McMoran, another one that's got this large megaphone pattern. Megaphone patterns are typically a sign of confusion as it gets larger and larger as you go through time. The volatility, you get higher highs and lower lows. This is the large 1, 2, 3 consolidation pattern. We broke into the upside here, had a massive run, and now we're flinging all over the place, consolidating. We do have larger selling pressure on the right-hand side over here. Southern Copper, another one with 1, 2, 3, and then the break. And now we're sitting on top of its pattern. We've had strong selling pressure on the right-hand side here. And we've come down and we're slamming ourselves on this support line for Southern Copper. They've got a 7.5% dividend. Alphamin, another one that is a tin company. We've had a large break and a large sell-off. Now, is this a first wave and then we're consolidating in between? It's very much probably that case where you break, you get a first wave, you get a consolidation back, and usually it goes back about 61%, so maybe a little bit further down to 49 cents. We get somewhere in that vicinity, and it doesn't, I mean, we could go all the way back to 31 cents if it were a strong sell-off, and then maybe we put in a third leg after the sell-off. Looking at Southern Copper, or no, it's the South 32, not Southern Copper. South 32, we got the double bottom. We've come on up, and we've had strong selling pressure the past few months, and we are continuing lower in South 32. I keep wanting to say Southern Copper. So it does look like we've got a little topping action where we could pull back a little bit further. In South 32, it's got a 3.89% dividend. This one doesn't have copper. I think it's more aluminum, coal, and some other stuff. We've got Anglo-American Platinum coming on down a little bit. I mean, we're off its highs. It doesn't look as bad as some of the other ones. I don't see those large selling pressure days, but a big picture view on logarithmic. We're coming up and we've broken that upward trend line. The consolidation was back here, and the buy point of the lifetime would have been January of 16, and that's where it really took off. So it's broken its uptrend line. We'll see where it happens for Anglo-American Platinum. Impala Platinum, another one that looks like it's starting to roll over, like we could potentially head lower. We've got the 3 humps, and then we've got the break coming on up, and now we're starting to move sideways to lower. So this looks like we could potentially head lower for Impala Platinum. Nova Resources, another one that's been huge pattern. We kind of fell out of it. It's quite low. Doesn't look as bad as the other ones. Is this a good buy point? It's tough to say. With the overall markets going down, it's like to see those guys firm up. And then Talon Metals. Actually, this looks kind of good right there with a nice, good bullish piercing pattern, but we have not broken this trend line yet. We need to break out of this guy and try to force it through here. Good volume. We could see a further pullback if the sellers decide to sell it off. Looking at lithium. So this is rare earths first. Rare earths, we got the double bottom coming on up, and then we've got a little bit of selling pressure here recently. The selling pressure, we're still above the support line, and I'm just waiting for this thing to, waiting for it to break out of this area. Still looks okay though. And last time rare earths peaked when gold and silver peaked. I don't know if that'll happen again, if it was a coincidence or not, but that's rare earths there. Lithium, LIT. Looks like we're starting to get some bids here. Starting to firm up some. This one's had a much bigger run. We've broken out, had a huge run here. And now we might be consolidating for a little bit. We've broken this downtrend line. And maybe we try to go higher here. We'll have to see. MP Materials, that's had a good sell-off here. Continuing to sell off a little bit. Is this a slingshot? Yeah, we'll see. Here's your support line that we're dibble-dallying right below it on the weeklies. So we'll have to see where this thing goes. I'm going to skip a lot of these small little guys. LAC is kind of a bigger lithium company. We'll take a look at that. Lithium, again, we broke out. Now we're kind of consolidating on top of this pattern here for lithium. And it looks like we might consolidate for a little while. Looking at, this is American Lithium Corporation. This does look like we're falling out the downside of this support area. I'm not going to do anything with my shares there. I do own American Lithium. And this does look like an expanding wedge. Will this slingshot back up into the pattern? We'll have to find out. And a lot of the times what happens is you come down to these bottom of these patterns. It depends on the size of the company. They force it below. They hit a bunch of stops, and then they reverse it hard. Sometimes not. Sometimes it is a true breakout, and we head lower. So that's what we've got there. And that's where I'll end it. But overall, still some selling pressure is what it looks like. The overall markets, I think, have an impact on these. These are industrial metals is what we're looking at for the most part. And the industrial metals follow what the kind of the overall market. You get a little bit tied more with the overall market and the outlook of a recession and stuff. A possible recession also gets factored into these much quicker than, say, like precious metals. Precious metals are usually late stage winners. So I would prefer precious metals at this time if there is a recession, and we might get better entry points in these when this thing blows over. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website, the Platinum membership below if you want to, and we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.